I'm a very beginner. I've never done any programming before. So I worked for online seminary, and I wanted to create a tool that would be useful to us. So here's a sample page of one of our online seminary lessons. So if you notice here, we sing a hymn every day. And students are linked, it's just a link so they can click on it, open right up to the hymn, and then start singing. And so for us, in order to grab that URL, it takes seven clicks or so, where we got to go to the LDS homepage, and then we've got to go to inspiration, and then drop down to music and hymns, and then finally find the number and then grab the URL. So that seemed like a useful thing to figure out how to do, is grab that URL, as well as URLs for scripture references. So if you see these references here, if I click on that, it will take a student right to the verse where it's highlighted. And I wanted to, that takes a lot of clicks for us as the developers to put that in there so it's hyperlinked. And then one other thing too, is something called the Doctrine Mastery Core Document. Okay, am I still sharing my screen? Okay, sorry about that. But there's doctrinal mastery has taken the place of scripture mastery in seminary, and so there is a core document that students have access to. Here it is. Okay, and you can see here that it's just a ginormous document, super long. And so when we send them to this document, we want them to be able to just go straight to a highlighted section of it. See right here, it's just the Godhead that's highlighted. And so I wanted to figure out a way to get that URL as well in our developing. So here's what I built, okay, an online seminary toolkit. You see here that there's a way to grab a URL for a highlighted scripture reference, and it has all the standard works. With any of these standard works, it will auto-populate the second box, which is the book. Then you just type in the chapter and verse or verses that you want. Like if you wanted 7 and 9, and you click submit there, and it gives you the URL that you can copy and then paste as a hyperlink, which is great. The same thing for the core document. Any of these sections, it'll give you the URL for just the highlighted portion there. Or the hymn number down here, I just put in the hymn number, and it gives me the URL. And this might not be very impressive to you guys, but I'm thrilled with this because it's going to make such a difference for us as far as saving time. So anyway, that's my product. Any questions? I'm not sure how I'd even see where your questions are, if you had any. But that's it. Oh, thank you.
So I've got to join the Zoom? Okay. Good job. Okay. So I should have logged into Zoom before I came over here. Okay, so share screen and just a desktop. Okay, and don't join audio. Okay. So can everyone see my desktop? They're probably seeing themselves. Start the screen share. Oh, okay. Okay. So
make sure you hold that microphone close within like 100 inches of your mouth.
All right, can everyone hear me? Okay, good. Okay, so for my project, I used the Unity game engine to create the Unity game engine in C# as a programming language to create this cathedral project that I was going to do for my my master's project, but right now I'm switching to something with the religion department. So anyways, this is the opening menu, and you click on the enter the cathedral, and you get this loading screen. Okay. And hopefully this is going to be smooth for everyone. But as soon as you load the game, you get these instructions that tell you what keys to use to move around, and you can look and everything. And then you hit close to close through that. Just there we go. Okay. And so basically, this is created as a serious game, which is a game with learning elements in it, but it is a game. And so you basically navigate around the cathedral, and then you can. There are these learning elements that are embedded throughout the cathedral. Right now there's only one, but there's intended to be quite a few. And if you navigate up to one of the learning objects, then you get this menu that asks you if you want to learn about, and it tells you what the subject is. So if you click yes, then the music that's in the cathedral stops, and you can hear this narration of this video that talks about the dynamic geometry, the way the cathedral was created using a 50 by 50 unit measurement that's based on the measurements of Noah's Ark. And then they basically take that measurement and fold out the different dimensions for the cathedral. And so that's all what's talked about in this video. Some of the functionality that was programmed into it is you hit the space bar and it pauses it, and hit the space bar again and it plays it, hit the escape button, and it quits out of it and then starts the music back up in the environment. But basically, it's some of the other things that I would build into it are that right in the center area is the what's called the labyrinth, which is a path that people walk, and it kind of symbolizes a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. And at the center of the labyrinth is the founding bishop and the three architects that worked on the construction of the cathedral. So there would be a little video about that, but these instructional elements could be throughout. There's plenty to talk about the stained glass, the fact that these walls and aisles here don't exist anymore. They've been knocked out to create chapels in the cathedral as it currently is. And so there's just a lot that could be gone through. So I don't know if I can hear anyone, if anyone has any questions, but maybe if you had a chat question. Oh, thanks, Enoch. Okay, well, that's it for me. So, see you guys later. Thanks. Yeah, in the environment. Thanks.
All right, so like Dennis, I also did my project in Unity, and unlike Dennis, I did mine about human anatomy. So one of the biggest problems that anatomy students have is learning the muscles of the forearm. And so this will hopefully help with that understanding and learning. Also important to note, I started off with like zero programming experience, so I'm still fairly a beginner, but I have come a long way. So there are a total of 15 muscles that cross the wrist in the body, and here are a few of them. You see, you click and drag the muscles, and then they snap into place if they're close enough. And Also, another fun aspect is that you can rotate the model to see the other side. And, well, they're still flexors, so we come back to the front and put them in place. One of the most challenging parts of the project for me was getting the muscles to spin in place over on the right.
For me, it's good.
Now we can go to the back side. So there's the back side. And the muscles come and snap into place on the back too. And then, oh, come on. Maybe not. We'll never see the conclusion.
Oh, that was your project. I was like, this is a lot like what Dennis wanted to do.
So this is the final muscle. You can see all of them on the back. I'm having trouble with the target still apparently. There we go. Ta-da! That's the end. Thank you. Any questions? I don't know that I have anything else to show. Alright. Well, again, I came from no programming experience to minor programming experience. It's been fun. And, so that's the grading aspect of it. And I did make it repeatable so you can redo the game if you want to, and hopefully learn where the muscles go a little better. But if you get under 20 clicks, you get an A. If you get between 20 and 30, you get a B. If you get between 30 and 40, you get a C, and more than 40 is a failure grade. I agree. Hopefully they will be able to use this in concurrently with like a cadaver lab and be able to see on a body and then electronically how things go together. And I did this also because there are a lot of models out there where you can take the muscles off of the bones, one layer by layer, but not one where you can actually put the muscles on and build it yourself. All right, thank you for your time.
Oh, not big, but actually. This is your microphone. Just get down and pick up that until we pick up the red box.
Alright.
Click on share. Start sharing. So then they will see anything that
Okay.
in the chat window.
Alright. So I was one of those beginners that he was talking about. And what I did is I learned JavaScript. And I decided that since I like design, if I was designing or programming a web page or a website instructionally without an LMS that had one of those automatic quiz makers, I wanted to already have the code to just plug into the web page. So that's what I did. I created a quiz maker, and it does have an external JSON file, so you can change out the questions and answers fairly easily. So my example, I have two. I have the Harry Potter quiz and I have a trivia quiz. So I'll just show you how it works. Harry Potter quiz. So you start, click on the start button, you have the hover so you know where you're at. Does anybody want to guess questions? Anyway, in the film Harry Potter, the sorcerer's stone pointed to the company who used to own the invisibility cloak Harry received as a Christmas gift. Harry's father father. Okay, so look at. I have to be sorry. There we go. Alright, so if you highlight it, we click it, it tells you whether you got it correct or not, and then there's an internal timer that automatically brings you on to the next question. So, in the film Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, what two countries participated in the Quidditch World Cup? Any guesses?
Yeah, there are a few items.
Bulgaria, Ireland and Bulgaria, England and Romania. Let's go with correct. Okay. In the film Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, who plants Tom Riddle's diary? Ginny Weasley, Aldrin. Great, Lucius Malfoy, correct. In the film Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, what is Cedric Diggory's father's name?
This is
Correct. In the film Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, who drinks the unicorn's blood? Correct. In the film Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, how long did we learn that Scabrous is the first being found thief? Right. Correct. And in the film Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what type of dragon does Hagrid get? Horntail?
yeah. I mean, I get it.
That one was so at the end it shows you your score and your sentence. So the hardest thing for me was really to learn JavaScript because it was like learning another language and coming up with each individual step to make it happen the way it was supposed to was challenging. But it was good and I learned a lot. Do you have any questions?
Still no.
Thanks. Yes. Alright. I think he is bringing someone else over. Have you guys already taken this class?
How came together.
Yes? How do you change the questions out? I created an external JSON file so that you can just input a different file with the other files. So I have a trivia quiz too to show how it works. So you don't really have to go in and mess with the original code. You just change the file, and it's not that hard. So, any other questions? All right, thanks. Great. Ready? Oh, I have to kind of sorry.
You have to unshare.
Okay.
There it's sharing. Okay. So I created a tool for mapping historic markers. And the reason I wanted this was because my wife and I love geocaching. And our favorite geocaches are things that take us to these historic markers. So here are some of the pictures we've taken. And these markers, there's no good way to find them other than stumbling upon them. So that's what we've done, and you learn all kinds of interesting things. This one had my wife's 5th grade grandfather's name on it, that kind of thing. So we wanted to get more into finding these and reading them, but there wasn't a good way to do it. So my tool is for helping with that. What it is a map where we put different historic markers down, and oops, it's loading. So you can come and click on them, and it shows you the coordinates, the name of the historic marker, and the Google Street View of that location. So if you click directions, that will actually load directions from your current location down to where the historic marker is. So that'll, if you're doing this on a device, I made it mobile friendly so that if you're on the go, you can pull it up and it'll open in your Google Maps app. You can also submit markers. So test marker, random organization, and then if you just click get my location, it'll actually pull out your coordinates where you're at, and then you can click submit, and if we go back to our map, I'm here at the McKay building, so now there's a marker or an icon there. And hold up the street view, so just look at the building because we don't have an actual marker here, but that is my project.
I'm a beginner, right?
Any questions?
This is pretty exciting because this is
All right.
So if you want to find a highlight screen, you pick up.
Okay, I think Spencer's grabbing the next person for you guys.
Type in the chat box. 146. There you got the URL. Same thing, right? You run it all there. What did you use?
Down here in the bottom left. Don't join this next So this is actually audio for those who can't look at your click share screen, desktop, start share, bottom right. And now they'll see everything that you see.
If I ever
Okay, chat there, then they ask you questions. You got a 3-minute presentation. Just make sure this microphone's between 4 to 8 inches from your mouth.
Okay. Can you guys hear me all right? Hey, awesome. So my project was started off because I had a lot of hard time when I was a undergrad dealing with trying to sort out all of the different assignments and try and prioritize some of the assignments in undergrad from different classes. You know, some that were small quizzes on a daily basis, and some of them were the big papers and things like that. And so I wanted to create a way to prioritize homework, create some form of homework sorter. And of course there's a bit of a problem with that. How in the world do you decide to do that? Do you create based on number of days left, weight of the assignment, things like that? I decided to just include all of them thanks to the miracle of technology. And I actually did this while I was an undergrad using JavaScript. And as you can see from here, it's very, very clunky. A lot of tables, and you have to fill in a lot of information, and as soon as you finish filling something in, you were done. You get the list, but then if you wanted to go back to it, it wouldn't work again. So with that, because of that, I wanted to create something that would allow for me to upload assignments and then to keep them, preserve them. So I created this homework sorter here using database, using PHP and MySQL. I created the methodology because my hope is that for this course that it would be scaffolding for students for this assignment, so that students could learn how to prioritize assignments. And in the future, I'd actually like it so that it would be user adjusted, the methodology, so that students could make the priorities that they feel is most important. Okay, so it just goes through the simple steps of adding courses and adding assignments. Now it's running really slow, but just ask how many courses you want to add. You can create a table from that, so instead of that clunky table from the JavaScript version, you can go ahead and do that here. And do a couple of my old courses from undergrad. You put in a grade, and one of the things I noticed from user testing was that grade, I always did it as decimal. I thought it was a little bit more accurate than perhaps a letter grade, but I know some others have not done that in the past, so that would be something that I want to fix. So you fill out the information, and you fill out the total points, and then you just click the add courses. As soon as you do that, you can just add. Right now, there's a little glitch in the system, so I can only add one. So it'll give you a list of each of the courses, and then you can just fill in your assignments. So maybe title, exam, days left, 5, point value, and then you can just add the assignments. And as soon as you add the assignments, it'll take you back to that home page where you can see your assignments sorted out based on the values in relationship to how many days left and things like that. Now once you finish it, you can always delete the assignment, or if you finish the semester, you can delete all of your courses. You just select it, and you can click a checkbox and delete all of the courses that you want to delete. Okay, so that's my homework sorted. Are there any questions? Alright, so I'm still unfamiliar with Zoom, so I might have missed a comment or question, but once again, thanks for listening.
All right, let me kind of orient myself here.
Get the screen start testing.
Excellent. There we go. All right. Can everybody hear me all right? Hopefully, yes. So what I developed is a website, kind of an online resource available to runners to be able to understand what the heck is happening when their body hurts as they run. So the name of the website here is runningHurts.com, and as you can see, the main page here is just a collection of images with these kind of highlighted areas on the body. Each of those highlighted areas is a clickable link that redirects the user to some more information. Wait 1 second. Peter's saying something.
That's actually all the time we have for today, so hopefully, thank you. That's all the time we have, so hopefully those online you were able to see some of the stuff that we've done. If you have any other questions for people about their projects or things they've learned, skills they've gained, you're welcome to keep talking. So I think we're going to end now. We'll go down for soup. We usually do prayer down there for soup, right? Yep. All right, so that's it. Way to go. Cool. Thank you. All right. Two questions. One answer. Okay.
So there you go. Apparently we're out of time, but you can look at runningHurts.com, and really the gist of it again is that you just click on the area that hurts, and you're given 3 pieces of information. Number 1, what's going on in that area that's causing the pain. 2, how do you treat it? And 3, can you continue to run? So let's say my lower back is what hurts when I run. If I click here,
I'm given an anatomical image that gives a bit more of a visual of what's going on. And then I have, again, those 3 pieces of information. Now, there are certain areas, like the lower shin here, that just knowing the location is not enough information. And so if I click there, I have to fill in this information or this form that gives a bit more information on the pain. So let's say it's a sharp pain, it's worse, I get directed to this particular page. Yes.
Inside.